Today is January 10th, 2024. I now have enough data that provides a very good data point for the challenges that I've been taking. Trading stocks and that also provided some data point as well. And what I've surmised is this. Usually in a rotary type of a lock, that usually it has three combinations, three combinations, 46 right, 23 left, and 51 right. Okay, and then click, it opens and unlocks. That's the combination. So what I've noticed about now, after having failed quite a few challenges, and the demo likewise is the same. However, the feeling is different on the demo versus there's got to be at least $1 at risk in order to get that impactful, meaningful information. So with FTMO, I must have lost approximately about 20 challenges, approximately or more than 20 challenges. And then on the now funding pips, I must have lost about 6 or 7 so far. And then on a funding next account, I must have lost I must have lost 3 accounts so far. 3 accounts. Okay, 3 challenge accounts. So based on that data point, I realized that there are 3 things. 1, heightened risk, elevated risk. The leverage that I have is 1 to 100 on Forex. What that means is that on a essentially on a 5K account, I can have up to about 3 lots. 3 lots of Forex pair. Now that's quite a bit. When it moves, it just moves, and it can wipe out an account in an instant. When there's a huge candle like that just appears out of nowhere, it can just wipe everything out. That's one. Second part is not utilizing the categorized setup. So when I get into a range bound situation and I'm like, okay, it's at the top and it's going to break out, and so I go long. And what that will do is it'll reverse and go the other direction to the other side of the range bound situation, at which time I would have to sell because the movement is so drastic. Then I would get into the other side and then go thinking that it's going to drop out and it's going to move into the other direction. However, there's an 80% likelihood that that trend, that range will continue. It's range bound. And that 20% will cause it to shoot out of that range. So by the time it moves out, I've already depleted my funds, because 5, 10 here, 15 there, 20 here. It just once, twice, 3 or 4 times, and it just obliterates the account. That's number 2. The other is there's a thing called stop loss that I have. I have spent years trying to fully appreciate. It's 2 words, right? Stop loss. And just right off the bat, it just makes sense, right? Stop loss. Stop loss. It's so simple. But when I get into a trade, I don't really have a set number that I'm saying that I'm going to be satisfied with exiting should my trade be incorrect. So those are the three combinations that need to be strictly adhered to. Okay? It needs to be strictly. And if day trading is similar to poker, which it is similar, but it's not the same, because it's because it's either a bluff or not a bluff, or am I using my trades legitimately, crossing the T's and dotting the I, and make sure it's set up right, and am I honestly making the right trades? That's the question. So once I have those things dialed in, then at that moment, when that specific, very long green or red candle just comes out of nowhere, and when I'm in the trade, then I know that there's a safety feature in my trading that will cause me to exit before it goes anywhere else. And then I will minimize the impact of that very, very large swing that occurs. And that'll cause me to just exit the trade and be and preserve my mental capital as well as preserve my financial capital. So there are three things that I must routinely dial in. When the trade is in my favor, then I can adjust. Now I can adjust the risk level. And at that specific moment, when the highest probability trade comes along, then I can increase the risk. But for those other areas where it's questionable, then I need to set the risk smaller so that I could anticipate the percentage difference in the high probability with a sort of a probability of trade working out. And also, what could have saved my account throughout all those situations was to say, okay, I have a stop loss for that trade and I have a stop loss for the whole day. Once I achieve and implement these things in my trading, then I will lose less and I will be able to maintain more experience and get more mileage out of each of the challenges that I buy. So I'm looking forward to placing myself and making myself be at a point where I can pass a challenge with flying colors. That's the goal that I have. Once I do that, then I know that I can pass the verification with flying colors. And then when I pass the verification with flying colors, then I'll be able to pass the trading account each periodic payout cycles with flying colors. So that is the goal that I have by disciplining those three things in my trading. 1, adjust risk based on the probability of the trade. 2, make sure that I'm utilizing the right setup. 3, use a stop loss just in case something odd happens. And those three things will allow me to prolong the challenges, to gain and add more time in my challenges. For each of the dollars that I spend, I'll get more mileage out of that challenge. And 3, use the stop loss. Discipline myself to use the stop loss to mitigate that one specific situation where it's going to run away from me, because the way that it swings, it can do that at any moment. It's the reality of trading. But if it swings out of control, then it impacts both my mental capital and my financial capital. Therefore, in order to make sure that I pass these things with flying colors, that's the goal right now. That is the goal right now. That is the goal. And I believe once I achieve that one specific type of trading and become successful at it, then I can transfer over to other trading styles and trading accounts that I have because it is directly portable to the other instruments as well. And that's it.